Hello, America, and good day to our friends around the world. This is a political talk show here on WRMN. It's Free Speech Friday, friends. You know what that means. It means that we are going to bring on our Free Speech Friday panel, and we're going to play some political games. Also, today we are doing a double-hour double feature. We played the news a little bit early after the Sox game today. And so what that means is we wanted to do 2 hours today so that in the second hour at 7 o'clock today, we can open up the phone lines and speak with all of you. The text line and the YouTube chat are open. You can go to 505-926-1410. That's the one to text us, 505-926-1410. We also have the YouTube line open. With that chat, go to youtube.com. You can find us at WRMN Radio. Let's introduce our Free Speech Friday panel. Over there on the end, we've got Joseph Connell, longtime West Dundee resident, current member of the Dundee Township 708 Mental Health Board, serving a term that runs through to December 31st of 26. He brings operations plus accountability lens to the mental health funding. After 10 plus years in municipal public works, he now works in the insurance field as a loss control and risk management inspector. And of course, sitting right next to him is Dundee Township Supervisor Shefali Shah. Supervisor Shaw is the elected supervisor of Dundee Township, the township's chief executive chair and chair of the township board, responsible for overseeing key funds and services, including the general and emergency assistance and financial stewardship across the township functions. Her publicly stated focus areas include protecting and preserving township open spaces and supporting mental health services and supporting ride in cane for seniors and people with disabilities. And sitting next to her is our good friend here of the show. You hear him interview some of these great candidates in the area. That is local political pundit, Mr. David Tease, who will now be talking golf on Saturdays because the Bears are over. Thank you, panel, for coming in today.
Yes.
Thank you for having us again.
Yeah, first off, tell me a little bit about your show that we're doing on Saturday now. Dave.
It will be Tea Time with David Tease. It will come on at 9:06. That's after the commercials.
Mhm.
And we're going to be talking about golf with the local golf courses. I'll go there and play them, review them. People will call in and, hopefully we could get some response from people that have played there.
Mhm.
We're going to get some manufacturers to come in here and talk about products. Hopefully I'll get a free new TaylorMade driver.
Hey.
Anyhow, but golf balls, shoes, all the stuff that's out there. We're going to promote all local area golf courses up and down the Fox River Valley
Mhm.
and maybe in a little other places. There's a lot of golf courses. People were out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Mhm.
I wasn't. Sad face.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it was a little bit of a tease right there.
Oh,
for it.
ouch.
Hey.
Don't tease me. I'm sensitive, Sonar. You know that.
That's
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a great show. A lot of interactive. I'm going to have a couple of different people be co-hosts. Steve Thorne
Mhm.
said he wants to jump in. And
Of course.
yeah, and we're going to get hopefully some really nice special guests coming in here and talking products. And
We're going to have to
courses.
do a live remote over on the green as well. You're going to
yeah.
pick your favorite hole of the year so that we can go out there and live stream at it.
Yeah, and then we're also going to talk about golf simulator places. There's a new one in St. Charles, and we got X Golf, and then maybe we get Top Golf to maybe participate. Anybody who wants to sponsor that show, feel free to reach out to WRMN Radio, and we get a sponsor. Or if anybody wants to take out commercials about your golf simulators or your courses, feel free to call WRMN Radio.
That's right. Sales at WRMN1410.com is the best place to go to learn all about advertising and where to find out how to get your own show here on WRMN. So let's talk a little bit with our guest today. From what I have heard, Supervisor, you have had an exciting week. It doesn't seem to be for the better side of the exciting side. It seems to be the stress, even from the last time we spoke last week, has almost compounded. Has it hit finally a crest? Do we think it's going to go down from here, or is this just more escalation? First off, tell us what happened.
So it's a massive escalation. They've actually threatened me in an executive session, and I've had to go to the police and file a report.
Wow.
One of the trustees actually threatened my life and well being. She actually said, "You don't even know what's coming your way.
Mm,
Why don't you go ahead and go to the police and try to remove me like you tried with one of the other trustees?"
wow.
Yeah.
And
And
so what was happening? You were in a closed session. Everybody was there to talk. And in a closed session, it's only the people that are supposed to be there, right? There's no extra fluff. There's nobody who's there that's just there to take minutes or anything like
so
that.
there's a clerk there,
Mm-hmm.
4 trustees, and the attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And the clerk and the trustees, not one of them said, "Okay, we're against threats. That's out of order."
Mm-hmm.
None of that.
Wow.
How could they allow to do that? Seriously.
And the reason I'm able to speak about that is because I filed a police report, which is now open to FOIA.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no longer, it's public record now.
Because there were some things you're even then even not allowed to speak about now, but it doesn't seem like everybody's trying to come to a solution. It seems like it's still a bravado. It still seems to be more of a tug of war for power than it is a let's come together and try to get these solutions.
Well, even if there was a come together, let's try a solution, it's
Mhm.
really not a solution that's feasible,
Hmm.
So it's
Is
just.
this an impasse at here? Is this something that either side's got to give, or which is on this side? Joe,
There's no way they're going to give in.
Uh-huh.
I've asked them several different times, and they keep on saying you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, with the F word. And there's no way. They said there's no path.
Because from
Accept it or else.
from what we talked about last week, it seems to all be stemming from adding an extra layer of, I guess, an extra layer of, I guess, the qualifications for a person, right? The
Right.
state says this is the minimum qualifications that somebody needs to be part of the mental health board and part of the mental health counseling and in that side. And it seems to be the other board members are adding
Another
a
layer.
degree layer into this.
Correct.
And
Correct.
you're saying that they're not even gonna come
No,
up
they
off of
like
it
I said
anymore.
last week. They told me I have like 10 months left.
Mhm.
Accept it, because you don't have a degree in the field. You're done.
What
That,
would
that that came from the chair, Sue Harney. All right,
Mhm.
she actually said that during breakfast.
What are her qualifications?
That's what I want to know.
Is that in their bylaws by chance?
The qualifications, it's the law itself doesn't matter bylaws because
Mhm.
the law
Okay.
They change the
overrides-
laws as it suits them constantly.
They
But
change
it-
the bylaws.
The,
bylaws.
the by,
Yeah,
not just the
right.
bylaws, they're going downstate also. They're trying to change the laws at the Capitol.
Mhm.
Right.
You know,
There's
so
a bill.
if they don't like the game, they go down there and change the
Yeah.
law.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, like
so
with Elgin Township, on the mental, I'm not on that board, but I know like Ed Ring was, and
Mhm.
and Andrew
friend of mine.
Sosnowski. Andrew
Mhm.
Sosnowski was on there, another great guy. None
Right.
of these guys, Andrews is a lawyer, and they're on the board, but there's none of this
I
problem
talked to
in
Drew.
Elgin. There are no problems like this in Elgin as compared to the problem that you're having in Dundee.
I talked to Drew for like 45 minutes. And the first thing he said is reach an olive branch, sit down with them, talk to them, and try to get it taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I did, I called Sue Harney. Sue Harney said, sure, let's meet up for breakfast. It was a 2-hour breakfast almost. All right. And at the end of the breakfast, it was, no, not happening. I can do whatever I want.
Wow.
Yeah. I talked to the mayor of Sleepy Hollow when this was going down, and she actually swore at me not once, not twice, but 3 times saying, no, not happening. That's Courtney Bowe.
Wow.
And so what does compromise look like? Because this is what we've got to get to in public service anyway. Because at the end of the day, it's not about us, and it's not always about the position that we hold. It's about what are we getting done for the people. So what what does it look like at this? Is this just to turn around and say, we want all or nothing? Because there's more
There's
than
two sides
one-
of the people. We got the people of the ill that needs to be serviced, and I understand that. Then we have the people of our community we're fighting for also. Okay, so they want to raise the taxes. They say it's peanuts, but it's not. There's a $3.5 million levy coming down the road from Sue Harney. She out and out said it to me during breakfast. It's coming.
Okay.
And don't worry about it, Joe. It's only costing you like $7. It's not $7. It's not.
So, and this is what I'm trying to get at here, because at the mental health board side of it, it's two positions that are open right now.
There's
right?
3 actually.
3? Okay.
Yes, one step down.
So would the compromise look something like maybe 2 out of the 3 positions need a paper ceiling
We tried that.
and leave it out?
We
You
tried.
did.
We
Okay.
tried that, and they said no.
Okay.
All right, no, not happening. Even the 2-year seat, still a big no.
Okay.
We've tried to change things around. Now they want to flip it the other way around. It's like, those are my ideas, and you're going to flip it now. I'm going to do the same thing. It's a no.
All right.
As they say to me, Mr. Connell, it's politics. Oh, guess what?
Right.
Touche. It's politics.
Okay. So so they've come back
And they
with
shouldn't
that
be.
same.
They should not be part of politics.
So they've come back with that same offer that you've brought. Up.
Exactly.
So they're at the same pass of let's split the difference.
Right.
Let's do it. So okay. So where's the
So-
issue now then?
There is no issue. I mean, right now, I see it as if they're going to put someone on there that's educated, you're stacking the deck, and I think it's a little conflict of interest.
Okay.
Because-
Would you not vote for somebody if they did have a degree in something, or you're just opposed to the mandatory?
We're not supposed to be
side it?
bipartisan right here. They're supposed to be, one level. You and I, are you educated? Are you? What's the path? Why are you sitting here? But it's politics. It is now. They made it that way.
Okay.
So I'm going to look at the voting records. And I know who they work for. It's very easy to look at their resume.
Of each person that comes in now.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. They name dropped, like I said last week. Oh, I was here. I was told to come here because of Suzanne Ness.
Okay.
So right now, to me, you name dropped within the first 2 seconds of the interview. I'm definitely not going to say yes.
Whose name would you accept if somebody did name drop somebody? If somebody came in and said,
I don't like name
know-
dropping.
I know Donald Trump. He
No,
told me to come.
not
in."
at all. Not at all. Not at all. No.
Donald Trump
I
told me
wanna
to
know
run
you.
for mental health board.
No,
and,
I want to know you who you
Dundee
are. Tell me about yourself. Why are you sitting here? Not right away. I'm like, I'm here because of Suzanne Ness.
So I have a question. They want people that have like an education on this, like some type of doctor's degree, something on paper.
Right.
But as listening to you guys here right now, I think the most educated person on mental health is a mother or a father or a sister or a
Hands-on.
brother
Someone
who
that's
have
hands-on.
dealt with a child with autism or a
Right.
relative with autism or bipolar disorder. I mean, those people I think are more qualified,
Absolutely.
along with not more qualified, but equally qualified as a doctor or somebody to know about.
our former township supervisor, Erin Thrower. She knew my niece committed suicide. All right, that was a big problem. She had some mental illness at the end of her life. She left 5 kids on this earth, while she passed, and she thought about me for this seat. And I want to say thank you very much for this, because I hold that to my heart. Because I saw my niece go through problems, ups and downs. Pacing back and forth, taking all this kind of medication. Being helped with her insurance. And I remember there was problems with the medication, and we had to wait and get the medication for her. And Mrs. Thrower thought I was a great candidate for that, and I want to say thank you to that, seriously, and I'm holding my guns, seriously.
And it's great that you've
I
translated
went
that.
through that. I went through those
Exactly.
steps.
And you
I don't have
translated that suffering into help, which
Absolutely.
is the best way to do that. And that's where I think we've kind of gotten just a little far out. Instead of looking at the problem anymore, now we've gotten to the point where we've got threats and we've got
Right.
politic games, and we're no longer looking at the original problem. It's now expanded so
Right.
much. Supervisor, how do we get back? What do we do? Is it a apology tour? Is it a let's all sit down? Well, obviously breakfast doesn't work. So
No, don't.
Is there a way that we can just all come back together to the table and focus back on the problem of the people, not necessarily the problem that the problem created outside of that? What's the pathway? What's the next step?
In my opinion, I think we have to bridge the gap between funding that is provided by state
Mhm.
and county and on a federal level. You have to look and see how can we assess if there is already funding there for mental health,
Mhm.
then where are the gaps? Because people suffering could actually benefit from those gaps. Okay, so we need to do that. The needs assessment, right? Is it aligned? We have to do a needs. They have done a needs assessment.
Mhm.
Okay, is it aligned with the services we are providing? Okay, where is the comprehensive follow up on that? All
Is
right.
it to take
Right.
the subjective feelings out and look back at the objective numbers?
Exactly.
Is that it? Let's take the feelings out and let's just focus on what the numbers say.
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting
Well,
at with
that's
this?
where we should be going, right?
Mhm.
Buying a building, a fleet of cars, or
Mhm.
the state of the art facility, or having a sub department doesn't help people.
We
Okay?
wouldn't be here, seriously, when one of these township meetings, sorry to interrupt.
No.
All right, we had a $500,000 budget trying to go through, okay? And Sue Harney, again, has a meeting and tries to pass over an $800,000 budget.
Hmm.
That's way out of line. And then thank God we had the attorney on staff that day that stopped it, you know? I mean, we don't need 800,000. We didn't even spend the rest of the 500 from the last 2 years. We have rollover money. Now they want more money. So like she said, they want cars. You know, they're going to get insurance. We're going to put people on 401ks, IMRF, whatever it is. You said something?
I said, what?
Yeah,
Like, really?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
You know, they probably want a building. You know, I mean, as far as I know, they want to get it out of our building and have their own. They want to rent out a building. And I try to cut a deal with the landlord in this building that we have to get it for free. One of the landlords, I should say. And
office
an
for it.
office. And someone on the board says, oh, I'll be willing to pay $700. After the guy goes, maybe I'll think about it, I'll bring it to the rest of the board to get it free. They already want to blow the money after I'm cutting the deal for free.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I mean, are you guys, I mean, it's hard to interrupt everybody here, but it seems like to me you need to have a town hall meeting at one of these mental health meetings and let the voters know what these people are doing.
No one cares. No one comes up
But
to
if-
these
if-
meetings.
yeah. No,
I
they
hate to say,
do.
well,
You know,
no,
it's
our
stacked.
meeting, or no, your meetings are, but our mental health board meetings are empty.
Yeah, but I mean, they should be informed of what's going on by communication through the township, not saying anything like you, to say, hey, we got a mental health board issue. Letting the people know what's going on. I think this is why your views were so
These
high.
budgets, there's no balloon. It's not going to pop.
No.
They're going to keep
He's
on
talking
getting
about
bigger.
tax objections.
And they want to
okay?
get their own building,
Got
their
it.
own cars and all that. I mean, this is, wow.
So we're under a tax objection. So when you don't spend the money that you've levied for the past 3 years and you have 2/3 sitting around and you're trying to levy more money, there's a problem with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But my party seems to think that if you just go forth and levy more and more, and we can do more for people, we can do more for people. But if you're just going to give away money without looking at how we can actually benefit people that really need help,
Yeah.
okay, there are
True.
so many gaps here. Okay, no answers. You know, there's
And
no
it's
answers.
about the emergency side of it. The purpose of the township emergency assistance is for the emergency side, not to go out and spend with frivolous.
I'm not a
aside.
no guy. I'm not. All right. On this board, I've been on for 3 years. Going on this is my 4th year, probably my last. You know, and there's probably more yeses that I voted for than nos. All right. Right now, when Sue Harney took over the reins, it's been a no lately because I know how she is. She's going to blow the bank. You know, if we would change the seat of the chair and start fresh, I think we can come with a common ground. You know, come together.
So you're saying it's not an issue of necessarily getting the thing done. It's an issue of the personnel that is in place to get the
Right.
thing
And when they go home, they're keyboard warriors, and they
Oh
go
my,
out there
yes.
and they constantly threatening. And then we have the fake accounts, the John Lopez's and stuff. I mean, it's sad. I go home, I get text messages and like, oh, someone's writing about me again today. I laugh about it. I don't go on social media anyway, so it is what it is. These people are just keyboard warriors and they cause more issues and not solving a problem.
Well, it sounds like it's a little bit of a misplaced energy, right? We want to spin our wheels with something else because it's
Right.
easier to control. Governing is scary. Making the decisions as the supervisor is scary. Setting limits to budgets, setting goals is
Give it to me, I'll do
scary.
it. I'm not scared of it.
It is there, but this is the issue I think a lot of municipalities run into is they think that the government is just a big wellspring of money.
Mm-hmm.
And so when any issue pops up, it's let's throw more money at it.
Right.
Instead of, like you're saying, Supervisor, close the gaps. Find out where the money is missing and fill those bottoms for the foundation. Because, like we've said before, it is emergency assistance.
I would like to
isn't
run a
what
full
we have.
audit. I like to see a full audit from
No
all these
audits
companies.
allowed. We've asked for so many audits. No audits allowed. See, once you fill the gaps, you can improve upon them. Okay, once you
Exactly.
realize maybe we can do a better needs assessment. Okay, because needs assessment could be skewed, but I think that it could be worked upon. Okay, I mean this past needs assessment, it could be another show. Okay,
And the two of you come from a world of numbers, right? You
Yeah.
come from a world of, even just in your careers, you come from a world of the numbers tell the story.
Correct.
That's it. Whatever vibrato that you've got, whatever you want to say out in the public or keyboard warriors or anything like that, the numbers will tell you what the real story is.
Right.
And so if you're not looking at the numbers, you are willfully turning your eye away from any information you're going to use to make a plan. And so was there anything else on your focus list that you had over there that you were talking about the numbers specifically?
I mean, I don't want to get into it too much. Like I said, we
Yeah.
could talk about that for 2 hours. But the main idea here is that it's just getting worse. Okay, I do want to quickly mention that as soon as we form, this is my meeting. As soon as not yours, but as soon as we form a quorum, it becomes an open forum, and now the style is ghetto. And I thought I escaped the Indian ghetto. Here I am at this age.
And it's just a shouting match.
Two trustees from here. Okay, the last time we had a gentleman waving a hand towel or something.
Well, when we come back,
I love
let's
that
talk-
song from Elvis Presley called The Ghetto. It's one of the best songs out there.
When we come back, let's talk about how do we change not only getting quorum, but how do we change decorum in these meetings. You're listening to A Political Talk Show. It's Free Speech Friday. We'll be right back after this.
With your news flash.
Welcome back to A Political Talk Show here on WRMN. It's a double hour of Free Speech Friday, so we doubled up 2 weeks in a row, bringing our friends on from the Dundee Township Supervisor Board. We've got the supervisor of the Dundee Township, and we've got Joseph Connell, Dundee Township 708 Mental Health Board member as well. And we've got Mr. David Tees, host of Now Tea Time with David Tees. Not the kind that you drink out of a cup, the kind that you play with a small ball and a
And a
metal
club.
stick.
Yeah.
I like the first one, actually.
Yeah.
Tea time.
Might be a little bit smoother.
Little tea.
Depending on all of the drama that we're experiencing around. But I just want to talk a little bit about to kind of reset about I guess the catalyst issue that we're really running into with this, and that is making sure that we can fill the seats of the board. That's what we're really after with that mental health board. And then hopefully also get a few more members of the township too, so you guys can get to quorum a little bit easier. But for the most part, let's talk about the candidate that you would like to see. We talk about what we don't want. We talk about, oh, I don't want them to have this and they shouldn't have that. Let's talk about the person that you want to see. And Supervisor, I'll go with you first because it's your show essentially.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So I would really like to see lived experiences, which is what we have. I am not privy to talk about it because, not everybody wants to be out there with their experiences. And that's fine. If you tell me this is something that I don't want you to go out in public with, I have to respect your privacy. That said, I also would like them to be, just working class people who understand how much your $7 here, $12 there, a latte here. Maybe they're not the latte kind of people. Okay, maybe you and I can afford a latte. Can you not imagine that there are people who cannot afford a latte? So we need to do right by everybody. Mental health is extremely important, and I'm a big advocate for that. I'm just not advocate for handing away money like it's going out of style.
Joe, we've got 3 slots, right? What
Three slots.
What does your number one pick look like?
It could be a mother, a father, or brother, or sister. It could be anybody, one of us, seriously. I mean, it could be anybody. Just come in there and apply and be yourself, okay? You don't have to be educated. You don't have to tell us who you vote for, I mean, they're making it that way. That's the sad part. They're making it that way when they name drop right away. I want a regular blue-collar person that's walk the walk and talk the talk, So it doesn't matter if they're a man, or male, female. I want someone that can actually do the job like I did.
Is the biggest issue that you just don't have enough candidates to compare? Is it just there's not enough people that have come forward to want this position?
There are really qualified people. I have already mentioned. We do not like them because according to them, they voted no.
Yeah.
Okay. Why have they voted no? Have you ever asked?
I actually asked them, can we do a repool? And it was still a no. Like do another run of applicants.
Yeah.
It was a no.
Oh, what's that going to do anyway?
know?
But I think that, in my opinion, you have to listen to these people because I have called Adame, I believe, that was a fully licensed professional on there.
She was seeing the light at the end.
Well, she said that she voted no because that particular motion was going to get passed anyway. Okay? This is a professional that they want, okay? So I'm like, why didn't you speak up? Well, I wanted to have, for the police social worker program, I didn't want a provisional licensed person. I wanted a fully licensed person. So why didn't you speak up? Oh, well, I'm like, it affects the people, our people, taxpayers. Okay, so
That's
you
the
have to,
position you were putting.
so you have to be
saying.
fiscally
What they're
responsible
doing.
too. She says to me, fiscal responsibility is not my job; it's the president's job. This is the professional they want. This is the kind of professional answers they give. I mean, professionals give this kind of answers.
That's not a very good campaign slogan.
No, but
Yes.
they already have these jobs already full, technically. They do. They're going to give them to all their friends that work out in the field, and this is what's going to happen.
I have a question. Now, some
What
of
do you
these
got?
applicants here that they're pushing for and all that stuff, are they actually? They say they want qualified people. Are they actually working for some of these facilities that you guys are giving money to?
Yeah, or they did at one time, yes.
And that would be a
Conflict of interest.
conflict of interest.
Yep, absolutely. They don't
Okay.
see it that way. They
Right.
don't.
That's why I think a citizen, a voter, or somebody that we
Absolutely.
talked about earlier.
Yeah.
that
Let's
was-
say if it's not a conflict of interest, for example, okay? When I went through a questionnaire with them, right? Okay. I asked them about what their decisions would be on the police social worker program. Each one of them said, oh, people need help. We must fund it. Okay. This was phase one question. Phase one would only have, say, 3, I mentioned 3 towns out of all our towns under our township. And they said, yeah, sure, we should go ahead and do that. So you want some people, especially the Carpentersville community, which already has a program that they pay for. They pay for Kane County program and God knows what else, right? So you want them to pay 2 and 3 times for this bit,
Yeah.
but get nothing.
Does it seem
Unincorporated
like-
will get nothing.
Does it seem like
That's true.
everybody wants to be the superhero on this? Because what I've seen with a lot of the municipalities is that there's a lot of overlap with a lot of things, with where the city might come in, and then maybe the township kind of overlaps with certain things. Like
They call
maybe
it the
it's-
bridge.
Yeah, maybe it's quick electric bill payment, right? There's
Right.
a few different programs for that,
LIHEAP.
or exactly, or different things that just or recycle programs, or God forbid anybody
Ryder
do
and
a
Kane,
trunk or
right?
treat, right? Everybody does a trunk or treat, so it's. I think what's happening is so many organizations want to be not just a safety net, but the safety net. We want to be the committee that everybody comes to and goes from there. And I think sometimes it's a little bit of overreach to the point that you're making here with this is that Carpentersville is already paying for some of this. So does this program need to be as big if that side? Go ahead with it.
They only want their program. Okay.
Exactly.
And we're pushing them to take on the whole program. Okay. And then one of the
Meaning
trustees,
township-wide.
right?
Gotcha.
Township wide.
So you're trying to get the municipalities to essentially convert their programs just into the township.
They don't want to pay
platform.
for it. They want us to pay for it. They say, "Oh, we'll put in the budget for the first year, maybe or not, you know, or we'll cover the first year, and then the second year we'll start putting money in." We heard 2 different sides. No one's on board of anything really. There's not a good answer.
And you
Well,
need a
I
full
believe
board to be able to negotiate these things.
there was supposed to be one social worker, and then Sue Harney and I again met with the chief of police of West Dundee. Chief Green says, "No, I'm not paying for a dollar of this. I love to have it, but I'm not paying a dollar." About 3 weeks later, the tone's changed. I will take 3. I'll give you money later. You know, we'll budget for it later, not now.
But see, I'm still okay with it, okay? For example, initially, if
But 3, that's what she wanted. She went from 1 to 3, possibly 4.
oh no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm talking about township wide, okay? So Carpentersville was doing it. This is initially, right? Now things have already changed. Carpentersville is not having this drama, okay? So initially I had said, why don't you expand it to the township, right? Okay. If you want Carpentersville to run it, that's fine, okay? But we need to have a fully licensed person. The person that's running that at this time, in my opinion, is a provisional license holder. Nevertheless, there's also another way you could do this is through the county. County already has this program.
Correct.
So why can't we go also to the county to assess, is this better than this? There's no offense to anybody. We want to give the best to our people. It's their money.
And that's what I think this is I think it's pride of ownership. It's pride of somebody coming in and saying, well, my program is the one that I started and this is what we do over here. And nobody wants to share where you're coming in and saying, look, if we made this a township issue, we would be able to pool resources instead of saying, no, you live on the other side of the street, so you don't get this service.
Now, we are at this point where there are
Incorporate,
also
no.
trust issues because I can already see that they may say, okay, we'll do it your way. All right. Let's say, for example, we did that. We think it's a compromise. It won't be. Why? Because I had already offered the President Port Temper, who's currently there, that he mentioned the name of earlier. I had already offered her this position was supposed to be a handshake agreement for 6 months until I was ready or sooner. In October, I had asked her, I'm ready, let me get in. And I just want to get things situated because, like I said, with EAGA, there are things I can do that will, with collaboration, will save us some money. And then in December, on December 8th, I asked again. I said, I'm ready. It's time for you to go. No. So you see, it's now becoming this ownership thing. Okay, maybe a legacy thing. I have no idea. Whatever it is, okay, it's just becoming worse and worse. Like I said, I was threatened. My well-being, my life has been threatened now. It's ridiculous that you should see that if you came to our meetings, if I genuinely think sometimes that if I didn't have our attorney, these people would probably start throwing things at me. Okay. And
They're actually shouting at her.
yeah.
You know,
It's
I
like
mean,
all
I've
these
never seen a
people-
board act like this. I mean, don't get me wrong, the mental health board, I've been shouting at someone else too in there because she doesn't want to see the light, you know, but her board, they're actually, two of them are already yelling at her nonstop.
It's ad hominem attacks continuously. The whole entire time. It's an open forum. The mental health board administrator on Dundee Township payroll is yelling at us from there, at me, and I don't know, asking questions to the attorney
she's
or
a
what have
temp.
you. She's a temp.
She's a temp.
How can you behave that way on Dundee Township payroll?
Right.
Your job is supposed to be to help everybody. You're supposed to not have an opinion.
And she did the same thing to me.
So where does the public help with this?
Oh.
Is it witness? Is it come in and be a part
They
of the
stack-
meetings and things like that?
They stack the place with their people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is how it is. They have now actually extended the administrator services. She's going to be my admin in my office. Can you believe it? I don't get to pick. They get to pick since they took away my powers. So it's just a spy. The spy at an extremely exorbitant pay. Okay. At taxpayer dollars. I had taken away, I had hired an administrative assistant for the cemetery. Open space, there isn't much to do. But yet they will say that, oh, we are going to need a director for that. Okay. So now she's going to be given that position. EAGA, I already hired another person before itself. So that duties are taken away. So the pay should have been lowered. Okay. We didn't even have money for that, technically speaking. Okay. So how is it that they have this money for her now, all of a sudden? Okay. The deputy, she's going to be the deputy clerk as well. I mean, all of a sudden she gets to post, she gets help. The clerk now posts the packets online. When it was our turn, every meeting we were getting just slammed by them. Like, why aren't we getting the packets? Now they have a pathway for all of this. So why couldn't they work with me? What is it that about me that they absolutely hate since day one? I understand I was an
They're
outsider.
racist. I have to say it. That's what they are.
So would they have any
are.
objections for me and you to come there and watch the meeting? I mean,
No, I mean it's an open meeting.
Yeah.
It's
Sure,
for
come on.
everybody.
Yeah, I
How
don't
many
think
meetings
we
have
should.
we had this month? How many?
2 at least, right? So
Two.
far.
So that's an extra
Special
150
and-
each.
Yeah.
So
Oh, right.
They're
so it's
both
like they've given themselves a little pay raise with
Correct.
taking away my powers. The clerk gets paid $192 per meeting, and each person gets paid $150. So that with attorneys, okay,
Wow.
it's $2,000 approximately per special meeting.
Wow.
Yes.
This makes more phone calls to the attorney on both sides. It just does not stop.
Yeah.
So they're just blowing the bank nonstop.
Yeah.
I've never seen a board dysfunctional in my life.
And so that's what I mean is we built into our service and our government the people. We've always built in where the people can always intervene in some way. If it's the court system, we're all on jury duty and we can all say, you know what, we'll nullify the jury or whatever it is.
Right.
It's the same thing with municipalities. It's why we have open meetings as well, to make sure that our voices are heard. Now, can we actively do anything? Can we actively vote? Can we actively change anything? Not always all the time, but you can always show up to the meeting. You can always be present. Even if you can't do anything yourself, you can always be present. And going
right
to these
now.
meetings for
Well,
you
he's
guys.
right,
I
not right
think-
not
now,
right now. I
because-
can't go. I mean, I can go, but I'm not going to go.
Well, see, then that's but again, that
Because if
is-
I go,
but that
I'm
is your
hurting them.
choice.
Right, it's my choice. I'm hurting the other side, my people, the community that does not want the
He
taxes
doesn't mean
raised.
Republicans.
But
by
again,
the
no,
way.
no, no.
No, I'm not. I
You
mean,
mean your constituents.
right. My
Absolutely.
tenants also. She brings up before this woman is like, "Oh, your tenants only pay. Your taxes only go up $7. It's not even close to being true."
No, but absolutely. But it's always a choice. And I'm talking about the people that don't have a position.
Right.
The people that are
Oh,
listening right now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
People
Come to the
that
meetings. That's what
Go
I
to
want.
the meetings and listen and be present with what is happening. Because even if you can't vote every single time you go to a meeting. You can't always change the people that are out there.
Right.
You can be informed, and you can be a person that spreads that information outside of the meeting.
I was very happy being on this board. Seriously, I took it to my heart. I only missed two times actually out of 3 years, because of work related. And it just blows my mind. I've missed I don't know how much now, and we're so far behind.
You know what gets me the most is I'm sitting here listening to you guys say this, okay? I don't live in Dundee. I live in Elgin. And I'm getting mad with the ridiculous spending that I'm hearing, the money just being wasted in Dundee alone.
Yeah.
I'm
the real tax fighter right here. The real tax fighter.
Can you imagine the voter, the taxpayers in Dundee listening to this and going, oh my Lord, I didn't know this. How mad they would be, because if I'm mad and I don't live in your town.
No, they have a strategy for this. For example, I'll tell you that the previous supervisor and, her beau, or whatever you might want to call him, I'm sure Joe can probably explain that better. But, the mental health board administrator that she was very close with, they had a picture, okay?
Oh, the boy toy. That's what I call it, the boy toy.
Well, so he brought a picture around and he was showing it to everybody, stating that the supervisor spent $5,800 on that photo, right? Wow. A straight up lie, okay? Why? Because see, I'm in a position where I can't act like them all the time. Somebody has to maintain some sort of class and represent the township, right? I cannot be like that. So I'm not going to sit there and argue with everybody and entertain everyone, okay? I didn't say anything. The invoice, which that photo was on, was around $4,500. So how can the photo itself be $5,800?
So either way, $4,500 to $5,800, and he's carrying it around with a $3 picture frame. You know what I'm saying? I would have got a better picture frame.
And again, like the point that we said before, is the numbers tell the story. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter where
No, but this is tarnishing my name and discrediting me. So then that way, it's just that I'm against it. Okay,
Yeah.
We're collaborating, so there must be more to our relationship than just that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just
Hi, Jen.
shaming. So you are discredited, and then nobody has to listen
It's
to.
true.
what
It's
you have
not
to
like
say.
you paid your friend for a really expensive podium because you are governor of Michigan. Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming on and talking about this. And
Thank you for having us.
We want to make sure that there's always a step forward. I mean, it's one thing to be old man shaking fist at the weather, right? It's what do we do moving forward? And it sounds like we need more people to get involved with the meetings, show
Right.
up to more meetings. If you say somebody stacks the deck, that's only because they called more friends to show up. So let's open it up to everybody. The only thing that
See, the
cleans
problem
the
here
diluted
is-
river is a giant ocean.
Problem here is that I'm an outsider. I pretty much was an insignificant person
I
in
heard that's
Dundee
what
Township.
people vote for as outsiders, is what I heard.
So I don't really have friends or family that would be interested in this drama. Okay, especially the way it's going now with the ghetto format. Okay, I mean, we escaped India, the ghetto format, to come here to a more civilized place. Let me tell you something. When you do come to our meetings, and I want you to remember one thing, okay? Ask yourself this question. If this format was brought to a police station, if these people acting this way were brought to a airport, or if they were brought to an emergency at a hospital, what would happen to them? And that will answer your question, okay? Is this an okay behavior or not?
You can actually go watch the videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can see it.
And the board actually eggs them on. So how is it that you have elected officials?
Even the board's
that
doing it
behave
too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you have elected officials that behave in that manner?
Right.
I absolutely understand that we've got to bring things back to the actual problems at hand, and it almost reflects what we're seeing even on the national side, that we're getting to this point where individuals don't want to work with each other.
No,
Now,
they
whether it's for I want my friends to be involved, or I've got politics that I want to play, or to your point, Joe, that's the only card that you can play.
I talked
right?
to 2 trustees, seriously. Talked to one on the phone, and she said, I'll think about what you just said. You know, I took that to heart. I thought maybe we worked something out, you know? And the other one, we went to breakfast, and I both think nothing went through. Nothing. Just try to get one person on. It's not, I mean, I'm trying.
Well, and then that's my
And they're
question,
not budging
is-
at all.
Is that's my question, is what does compromise look like?
Right.
And it sounds like both, from the discussion that we've had, it sounds like both sides have agreed to split the difference. You've got 3 people, let's say 2 of them need degrees and 1 of them doesn't. I've heard both sides put that offer up.
We already have one person on the board with a degree right now.
Okay, well then there you go.
There's that one. We had 2, she quit. You know, so I take the 1 degree and let's just go back to the pool or take the ones that we have.
I think the biggest issue from what I'm hearing as the outsider is making the degrees mandatory is already an issue, first off. And then the second issue is that it is a conflict of interest that the people on this board know the people that are in the other board.
Well, but the person who is the most qualified apparently right now with a degree on there spoke actually and said, we need more people. Can you imagine if that was it's basically, you know, you're talking out there about yourself, your credibility, your intellect, and you're saying, I am not enough. I need more of me to make this board full.
You're
Then
saying
leave, right?
more
You can
of the
resign.
intellectual side of it is
Well,
what you're saying?
if you are going to tell Dave, we need more of me here because I am not good enough. Okay, then you can resign.
No, we've got to head to a break on this. I really appreciate the 2 of you hanging out. We're going to get into some news. It's not too often that I have a Democrat and Republican on with me at the same time. And so we're going to get into a little bit of the news here. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court and how the tariffs have been reversed and how some people aren't happy about that. And it turns out it wasn't trillions and trillions of dollars like some people have said. So stick around. We've got more Apolitical Talk Show coming up right after this. Hello, America, and good day to our friends around the world. This is Apolitical Talk Show here on WRMN, broadcasting live on WRMN 1410 AM and WRMN1410.com. Those are the best places to go. Oh, wait, no, there's one more better. Go to YouTube, youtube.com. You've been there before, I'm sure. They've already got your metadata. So that's youtube.com and give us a subscribe. WRMN Radio. That's the place to go. And of course, it is Friday. So we've got our Free Speech Friday panel sitting with us today. Let me introduce them one more time. We've got over there on the end, we've got Joseph Connell, longtime West Dundee resident and current member of the Dundee Township 708 Mental Health Board, serving a term that runs through December 31st, 26. As I've been told, he's reminded quite often. You've only got 10 months left, guy, get out of here. No,
10
anyway,
more.
He brings a operations plus accountability lens to mental health funding. After 10 plus years in municipal public works, he now works as the insurance field as a loss control risk management inspector. Of course, that background that naturally emphasizes safety standards and measurable follow through. And of course, we've got Dundee Township Supervisor Shefali Shah. Director Shah is the elected supervisor of Dundee Township, the township chief executive and chair of the township board, responsible for overseeing key funds and services, including general and emergency assistance and financial stewardship across the township functions. Her publicly stated focus areas include protecting and preserving township open spaces, supporting mental health services, and supporting Ride in Cane for seniors and people with disabilities. And of course, we got Dave. No, I'm just David Tees is sitting over here with us too. He has been interviewing quite a few of the candidates. Remember to get your ballots in. The early voting is already in. There's also going to be an election day on the 17th, not the 17th of February. That happened a couple days ago. The 17th of March. So before you start getting into your libations, make sure that you go ahead and get your I voted sticker. And there's only one way to do that.
And now
Thank
you got
Pam.
the mail-in ballots with the post office rules have changed. And
That's right.
They're not required, but they're saying, hey, you do it 9 days before the deadline of March
absolutely.
17th in order to make sure they're stamped and they're turned in on time, because of the backlog. And
They
stuff
will
like
no longer accept the postmark on
Right.
the day. You now have to have it physically there at
Yep.
the counting facility.
that. Yes.
So
I
it's-
can't wait for green beer.
So, and then we'll also talk about, if we've got some time, maybe we'll talk about the SAVE Act as well. That's coming up. There's a lot of people that are talking about that. I think we can all agree that maybe having an ID to do it was a good idea. I just wish the SAVE Act was that bill. It's not. It's a lot more complicated than that. So if you have ever changed your name ever in your entire life, looking at you, JD Vance, if you've ever changed your name, you're going to have some trouble registering to vote if the SAVE Act goes through for everything.
That should be already taken care of for them.
Sure.
Yeah.
It would be if we now didn't have to do it in person, because now you're going to have to go in person with all of your stuff. More than 50% of all Americans do not have their citizenship proof ready and available.
How do they
Just
travel?
gone. Now they might have an ID, and you can
Okay.
travel in between state lines
Right.
rather well.
Right.
Birth certificate, right?
Birth certificate as well. But if your birth certificate
Passport.
doesn't match your passport or your license, then you're going to have to show up to the county clerk's office in person to get the registration done. And that's if they allow us still to vote early, because if they get rid of voting by early, if you show
Bravo.
up day of voting and, oh, shucks, I'm sorry, oh, your passport was just invalid for some reason. So it's not about stacking the deck by getting dead people to vote. It is stacking the
proper.
deck by getting rid of eligible voters that you don't necessarily like the way that they
Proper
vote.
people.
Proper votes and proper
Right.
people, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Don't you got to go to the DMV to renew your driver's license in person?
Not
Sometimes-
necessarily.
No, sometimes, like I did, I had
No.
to go in there in person
For the
because,
first
yeah.
one,
Oh, if you have a clean record, you don't
After
have
that,
to.
yeah.
Oh no, they rotate it.
After
I
that,
know
you
they
can
do.
go right to the IDOT and
Right.
and update, and they'll send it to you in the mail.
My wife did hers through the mail, and I had to go in person. And so, and then next year, I think she goes in person, and I get to do my by mail.
Sure, absolutely. We're lucky enough that we're only have to drive, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so to the clerk's office. There are reported rural areas that will have to drive 500 miles round trip to register to vote.
That should be done at the libraries
Can't have
know?
to do it at the clerk's office.
or City Hall.
So they would have to drive to the weird gerrymandered place that they would have to drive. And
Yeah.
some people would even have to cross state lines to be able to get back to the state to register for the side of it. So we'll see what the SAVE Act has to say. But first, we've got our special guests for the Dundee Township. So let's talk about the Dundee Township. I want to talk about the General Emergency Assistance Fund. And also, I want to pick your brain a little bit about this ride in cane as well. So, Supervisor, tell me a little bit about the emergency assistance that the township offers.
Well, let me switch it up a little bit. So, Ride in Cane has now been subsidized by the state.
Okay.
So right now what I'm trying to do is we took a survey with our park district with seniors, and they said that they have some gaps in Ride in Cane. So I'm trying to collaborate. I mean, I don't have to, but I feel bad for the seniors.
why
They've
not
asked
jump
for
out?
it. Somebody has to do it. So I'm trying to connect RTA, PACE, and Ride in Cane and Park District together. And I will actually sit on that as a liaison for that call or meetings, however many that would be, because we want to make sure that our seniors get to the library, get to the Park District for their programs. Without that, there is isolation for them. And I want to, that is one of my prerogatives that I want to do. I wanted to introduce a program. I did introduce that. It didn't go anywhere. Where, I had a wellness call where a senior had passed away and undiscovered for 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm grateful to East Dundee Police Department for not, for protecting me from seeing that, because it had an impact on me. So again, I do support mental health services, okay? But what I don't understand is why do these people that are all vocal and all advocating out loud and what have you for the mental health board do not understand that seniors are experiencing isolations. They're lonely. Okay, we got to do something. Every township does something. I asked for $600 for that. Okay, our emergency and general assistance were completely blocked. If any of our people had fire, like Meadowdale Fire, we are not able to do anything for them. So how is it that the mental health board people who care about people so much only care about certain people?
And that's what the township is supposed to be. Well, we talked about gaps before, because there's so many municipalities within Illinois anyway. And even then, some people that aren't even incorporated as well, which is the people that use service quite well, is supposed to be there to cover those gaps for
Yeah.
it. So we are going to open up the phone lines today. We didn't last week. We had a lot to discuss, but we're going to open up the phone lines today. That is going to be 847-931-1410, 847-931-1410. For those of you that want to get into the discussion, whether it is about the Dundee supervisor position, it is about Dundee Township and the Mental Health Board, is it about the Supreme Court decision? Is it anything else that's happening in the news that you are interested to get out? It's a Free Speech Friday, so we want to hear from you, 847-931-1410, or give us a text, 505-926-1410. You're listening to Apolitical Talk Show here on WRMN. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Apolitical Talk Show here on WRMN. Don't forget, you can always go to WRMN1410.com to learn all about the different shows on, you guessed it, WRMN. Not any of the other stations. I don't need to put their schedules. Go to their website. Go to mine, WRMN1410.com. That's the one to go to. You can always send us a message at WRMN Radio on YouTube. You can find us over there on the chat, or jump in on the call-in line. It is Free Speech Friday. We'll take any topic that you would like to talk about. I mean, we maybe keep it political. It is a political talk show. But 505-926-1410. Today's game as well, for those of you that are playing at home, will be villains versus presidents. I will give you a quote, and you will tell me if it is a fictitious villain or if it was a president of the United States. I guess real villain? No, we wouldn't say real villain for presidents. No, of course not. We love America. We love the Constitution here. And what we don't like is what George Washington warned us about, and that is tribalism over parties. So that's why I brought on people from different parties here today. So we've got with us on the township, we've got Joseph Connell, a longtime West Dundee resident, current member of the Dundee Township 708 Mental Health Board, and Dundee Township Supervisor Shafali Shah. Thank you both for being here with me.
Thank you for having us.
And just Dave.
Thank you.
Just Dave and Dave.
And Dave T.
Dave's been doing a fantastic job. I want everybody to go over to YouTube if you're not already there and watch all of the candidates that he has been interviewing. I'll tell you, the guy had so much energy, and that was Mr. Charlie Kim.
Oh,
When
yes.
you interviewed him, man, he was all over the place, and I loved it. It has all that energy for it. That's what we need in our elected officials.
Yes.
So that interview is over there, and then you've done a few other ones too.
Mike Pierce, Herb Haben, Jennifer Davis, Danielle Penman,
Nice.
We've brought Bailey over as
Chris,
well.
Chris Lawson, also too onto there too. So he's out. So
No
we
Ted?
Who?
No Ted.
No Ted, but
I can get him on if
Oh,
you,
you,
want
you
me
mean
to.
Yeah,
you mean
tell him
you
to
mean
reach out to
Tad?
Yeah.
You mean Tad?
Ted. and Heidner.
He was real mad about that misspelling.
I would like to get Heidner on. Hopefully I'll see him tomorrow night.
We'll see.
Okay.
We've still got 4 more weeks until the big day. That big day in March. For those of you that vote in parties, whatever, party politics. I don't join the club until after the 17th when they finally finalize who's supposed to be there.
Makes sense.
I don't like either party right now. Just to be fair, to lay it
I
all
can't
out on the
wait
table.
for St. Patrick's Day.
can't do it.
Seriously,
can't wait for green beer.
It's not for green beer either.
Drink and celebrate.
Everybody needs to come realigned. That's what we need to do.
Before we go, we did have something here on the Supreme Court as well. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in a 6-3 decision that the International Emergency Economic Powers Act did not authorize tariffs in peacetime, overturning lower courts that found business and a dozen U.S. states as plaintiffs. So essentially what was happening was the president was using the Emergency Economic Powers Act to put emergency tariffs. I mean, there's nothing more permanent than an emergency action here in the United States. So that's essentially what it was. And due to an emergency, the president signed a 10% global tariff to replace the IEEPA duties after the U.S. Supreme Court struck them down, saying it would start in about 3 days. So are we going to see appeals? Are we going to see us collecting? Oh, by the way, we finally got the high score of how many things were actually taken. Not the tens of trillions of dollars, I think was said a few times, trillions of dollars. $133 billion collected.
I'll take that.
Companies have filed suit seeking refunds. $133 billion is nowhere close to the $2,000 rebate checks we were all going to get. Remember those? Or I'm sorry, maybe you forgot.
Oh, you didn't get one?
No.
Wait, you didn't get one? I got mine.
So, so what is this? Are we returning to normal? Is this something that the president's going to fight? What's your thoughts on this, Joe? You said
I believe he's going to fight it. He's going to bring it back to Congress.
okay,
You know,
which it should be.
It should be, he's right.
Congress is the one that makes the rules. So,
they set the tempo on it. So let's pass it through one side and get to the other, and hopefully they can. There's no filibuster, and we just get it done right away.
Supervisor, would you be in favor of the United States Congress saying the executive branch can now make whatever tariff they want?
I think I've got enough heat on me. I'm going to stick with municipal
That's
law.
why I didn't say. That's why I didn't say this president. I said, would you be in favor of the Congress giving the executive branch, even if it was a Democrat, the executive branch the ability to determine taxes? Do you think that the president should have that power?
No.
Okay,
And I'm going to get so much heat for it.
that's okay.
And so now I'm going
I'm
to call
out.
you about it.
You can call me all the
Like,
heat
look
that
what
you
you've
want
done to me.
And then what we'll do together is you and I will read the Constitution to that person that's giving you the heat. Because we'll read the Constitution to them. Dave, same question. Do you think that the executive branch, Congress passes the law. It's perfectly legal that the executive branch has this power. Would you give it to them?
Yeah, I would give it to him because it was voted on by a group of people instead of one person just
Well,
saying.
so I mean,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking really is, should it be the executive's power to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
But can I ask you a question here?
Go ahead.
So why does it really matter in the sense that each elected official, owes a lot of favors to everybody that supported their campaigns?
So you're saying that that Congress, it's bad for Congress to have
I'm
it?
saying
or-
all of them take a lot of money. When you take a lot of money for your campaigns, you owe a lot of favors.
Absolutely.
So then how
No
do you
health
know
board.
whether it goes to Congress or whether it goes to the president? It cannot be skewed?
Well,
How
this
do you
is
know
why,
that?
Well, this is why it is the law of numbers.
Yeah.
I can't bribe 438 people as easily as I can bribe one. I can bribe one. I can curry favor. In fact, I can give one person a jet. I could even give one person a trophy from a football organization.
Yeah, but you're not thinking about yourself as a billionaire. Now think about yourself
if
as
I was
a billionaire.
Well, if I was a billionaire, then yes, the president should absolutely make all decisions, and we should probably have a king. I'm just saying, if I want to put my billionaire hat on,
in London right now.
if I want to put my billionaire hat on, then yes, all of those things. So I think what we're seeing here today, I think we're seeing a little bit of checks and balances. I think we're seeing something that was put into effect. The Emergency Economic Powers Act did have a actual reason why we put it in there. We're at war with people. We should be able to put tariffs and different taxes on things. It started with the chicken wars, right? Where we put tariffs on chickens and they put tariffs on Volkswagens and all of the other things that happened. But at the end of the day, I think we need to start taking some of these emergency powers away from the executive. Not saying because it's Donald Trump in the office. I'm saying Biden had too many executive powers. I think Obama had too many executive powers. And we know Bush had too many executive powers.
I think that's a touchy subject because of you. They're stripping your powers.
No, I'm not saying all powers. No.
Hey, this is a little touchy subject.
don't need to point fingers.
I'll tell you something. That's fine.
Shots fired.
No, that's fired. That's fired. That's fine. But look, I think back in the day, when you had JFK or if you had Reagan, all right, we had trust in the president. They did right by the people.
Yeah.
The trust is lost. I cannot tell you how many supervisors want to do good things, right? Like if I was allowed to do good things, I would generate revenue, lower taxes, right? Unburden our people. I would try my best to not only support one department, but all of them, okay? We would improve upon all of them. So I think it's that. Also, it matters how much money you take from people.
But didn't you get voted to do that by the people?
I did.
Oh, okay. And is it happening for you?
No.
I didn't vote for you.
Okay.
I didn't vote for you, but I will now.
Thank
my
you.
goodness. But either way, we're talking with the Free Speech Friday panel today. We're going to take a quick break. We've got Joseph Connell on the end over there. We also have Dundee Township Supervisor Shefali Shah, and we've got Mr. David Tease. We'll be right back, and I think we'll play our Free Speech Friday game when we come back.
Can't wait.
Villains versus presidents. Which quotes are which? Can you figure it out? Stick around. We've got more Apolitical Talk Show coming up after the bottom of the hour. News and weather. Call in 505-926-1410 is the text message, or 847-931-1410. Welcome back to Apolitical Talk Show here on WRMN. If you're ever interested in a political talk show, you can always send me a message, sonar@WRMN1410.com. That's directly to my email. If there's ever breaking news or you've got an article or something that you would like us to look at or investigate or report on or anything like that, a few different ways to do that. The first way is, if you're still on that email, go to news@WRMN1410.com. Send that on over. Or we love getting texts from everybody. 505-926-1410. Join that text line, and we will put you in and give you that shout out and credit for bringing that news story over to us. This is Apolitical Talk Show. You can hear us every day, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. You could hear us, and by us, you hear me and my co-host or host on this. That would be Mr. David Tease. Thank you very much for filling in when I'm not here, buddy.
Hey, anytime for you, boss.
I appreciate that. We also got the Dundee Township sitting with us, or at least a piece of it. We've got the Dundee Township Supervisor, Shefali. See, I was going to mess it up. I was doing so well, Shefali. Shefali Shah was here with us. We also got Joseph Connell, Dundee Township 708 Mental Health Board, over here with us. And you guessed it, it is time for our Free Speech Friday game. So here is the game here. I'm going to give you the quote, And you are going to tell me if it was a president or if it was a fictitious villain. Right? That seems to be a good comparison between the two, right? Because we've had the presidents say some pretty kooky things, as we've heard last week. So let's go ahead and let's get to it right off the bat. This person said, "I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further." Was that a president or a fictitious villain?
Villain.
President.
We've got a president. We've got a villain. Oh, you're the deciding factor on this. I'll give it to you again. I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it further or any further. Sorry.
Villain.
A villain is correct. The speaker was Darth Vader in The Empire Strikes Back. Vader has struck a bargain with Lando Calrissian for the capture of Han Solo. He changes the terms unilaterally to serve his ends.
I remember that now.
He said this obviously to assert that dominance in the negotiation, and of course, the elevator doors close right after he says it.
Yep.
Okay, I've got another one for you. Is this a president of the United States who said this, or a fictitious villain? Here's the quote. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
President.
Is that a president,
President.
or is that a villain?
President.
Who would say such a thing?
I think it's a president.
It was a president. That is George W. Bush. He
Are
said
you
that
sure?
in the he said that in the address to a joint session of Congress September 20th of 2001. So this was right after 9/11. And he was framing the speech for the war on terror as well for that. Here we go. We've got another quote. Is this from a fictitious villain, or did one of our very own elected leaders say this? I am the Senate.
Villain.
Ooh,
Villain. I'm gonna
or
say villain.
or president.
Star Wars.
I am
Villain.
the Senate.
A
It
villain.
was a villain. Sheev Palpatine, or Darth Sidious, in episode of the 3 of Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, came out in 2005. Confronted by Jedi Master Mace Windu, Palpatine declares his complete control over the Republic's legislative body.
Did Elliot and Jimmy Facelli come up with these?
No, we did play this game with them
Oh,
before.
okay,
It was pretty fun. And this is one of the things too. Everybody talks about how the first 3 episodes of the Star Wars, episode 1, 2, and 3, are really boring. But honestly, it's what we just talked about with emergency powers.
Yeah.
They literally said, "Hey, Darth Sidious, we don't want to rule anymore. Why don't you just take it over?" And so, I don't know. I've seen a few do nothing Congresses. It's about time they made a movie about them. So this is another one here. Is this from a president, or is this from a fictitious villain? When the president does it, that means that it is not illegal. Did a president say this, or is this a fictitious villain that maybe was playing a president?
It was a president.
President.
When the president does it, that means that it is not illegal.
Clinton.
Villain.
Some people think he was a villain, but he wasn't a crook. Richard Nixon's
Nixon.
interview within David
gosh.
Frost's interview in 1977, defending his actions taken during the Watergate scandal. And to me, the "I'm not in the files" is the same thing as "I'm not a crook right now." That's where I would put that quote. So let's go to another quote. Was this a president, or was this a villain? When somebody's the president of the United States, the authority is total. When somebody's the president of the United States, the authority is total. Is this a
President.
fictitious villain, or a president of the United States said this?
I would say president.
I say villain.
Got a villain, got a president. You're a deciding factor again.
Villain.
Those of you playing at home, it was a president of the United States, this president of the United States, but it was part of a White House briefing in April 13th of 2020. Dispute with governors over who could lift the COVID-19 lockdowns.
Okay.
The president was essentially saying, we have the authority and it is total authority. We've got a caller on the line. Let's see if they can guess this one here. Caller, I'm going to rope you in to the game here. Caller, is this a president or is this a fictitious villain? Caller, the quote is, a new power is rising. Its victory is at hand. Was that a villain or a president?
Villain.
It's a
What
villain.
century? What century was that in?
Century was that in? I'll tell you what, it was said in 2002. I'll give you that one.
Can you repeat that again?
2002.
A new power is rising. Its victory is at hand.
Roadrunner. It's Roadrunner.
It's not. It's not a villain.
It's not a villain. It actually was. It was Saruman of the Lord of the Rings, if you ever watched those movies over there. Hey, Dennis,
No, I
how
never
are you,
did.
buddy? What would you like to talk
Yeah,
about?
Well, I'm calling to talk about the tariffs, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I missed part of the show because I had to be outside, even though I had my radio to the phone on.
Yeah.
But I missed a couple minutes. I don't know what you guys.
Well, what do you want to talk about
but-
the tariffs for?
Well,
It was a Supreme
here's
Court
what I'm
action
gonna
today.
say. You know that I work in that business, in international trade. And when I heard that, I felt a relief because I'm going to tell like it is, I'm a bottom feeder in the business, meaning people that are desperate that need custom clearances and things, I'll take care of them. All right, do have house accounts and all that, but I was relieved thinking that, okay, we're going to start doing business with people we haven't seen business from for a year or so.
Does this open up
because
your
they can't-
margins again?
Yeah, they're not going to pay the tariff because it's too expensive for their product, and then they're not shipping with us. However, all right, we're hanging on. And like I said, as a bottom feeder, but at the same time, I thought about it. All that's going to happen, and I'm pretty sure I heard you kind of state this, that the ruling party, Mr. Trumpito, will make his own rules about it, and it'll still be where we're at with less business on the expensive commodities.
Yeah, I think a lot of the issue that especially me and some of the other people with this, and obviously there are a bunch of never Trumpers out there that just whatever the guy does, they're not going to like. But my issue has always been that it is Congress's responsibility to put these in there. Now, if you control the House, you control the Senate with your party, then it should be pretty easy for you to get something that you want done. My issue has always been that it was a unilateral decision by one dude, and that is absolutely against the spirit of the United States.
The spirit of the law. I tend to agree. I certainly tend to agree, but all of this is still playing out, and it's frustrating.
Well, good luck to you and your business too, Dennis. I hope it stays lucrative like this.
Hopefully.
Thanks,
Very
buddy.
good, but I'm listening. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into another round of the game. Hey, I'll give you one as we head out of here because, I mean, I got to leave you hanging with something that's over here. So, of course, I'm going to give you one more quote. Is it from a president or was it from a villain? Maybe both. We've seen that. I'm just joking. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
President.
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 Oh, president's on this one. I bet you guys know which president it is, too. The listeners will get it when we come back after this on A Political Talk Show. Welcome back to A Political Talk Show here on WRMN. We're having a great time. We only have a few more minutes left here on the show. But if you ever miss the show, you can always go over to YouTube. That's youtube.com. Again, you've been there before. You more than likely have the app on your phone. Trust me, it's a Google product. You've already got it. Head on over to WRMN Radio, and you can listen to the other shows that we have put on there for you. I want to welcome our fantastic panel in for the last segment. That is Joseph Connell over there on the end, Dundee Township 708 Mental Health Board. And we've got Dundee Township Supervisor Shafali Shah. And we've got host of Tea Time and co-host of Apolitical Talk Show and host of Fantasy Football Blitz. That's, of course, the multi-talented David Tees.
That's what I do here.
That's
How many
it.
shows
Man
do you
with many
have?
hats.
How many
hats.
shows do you have?
He does 3 right now.
Is it 3?
Well,
Fantasy Football Blitz is going away, so
Yeah.
you're doing the Tea Time instead.
Tea time, yeah, it's seasonal.
So, and then I'm sure Tea Time will get replaced with Fantasy Football
yeah,
Blitz.
when
So
the
you got
season
that
starts
one.
up, yep.
And then you're on Apolitical Talk Show with our candidates
It's on
for
Tuesdays
things.
and Wednesdays, yeah.
And then, and then
Oh,
you
wait.
do a couple other things. Oh, and you're going to be the host.
I'm going to be the co-host on the morning show.
That's right.
Yeah.
We
There
are
go.
Do we have a
cycling
show
through.
called like Chicago Cubs Den or something?
We need to now.
Pretty
Yeah.
soon we'll be called WTEAS.
Cubs Den. We need to do a Cubs Den. Seriously.
Jeff, we say aloha back to you as well as he is over there. I believe he's still in Hawaii. So aloha to you, sir. He says, I'll call it DT is what he wants to call it from there. We were playing a game
Dutchman.
and we left you all with a clue. Our game is giving us a quote, and you're going to tell us if it was a quote from a president or a fictitious villain. And we left with one of these, and everybody immediately jumped into president. So here's the quote, and we'll see if they can guess which president, since they are so confident. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin. What kind of person would say such a thing? You guys said president. Which one?
I don't know.
Obama.
Obama? Okay, we got one for Obama. Supervisor? Eisenhower? Okay.
Ike.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Or Roosevelt.
What do you got?
Trump.
Trump? Okay. It was Joe Biden said that.
Oh.
Joe Biden.
I'm not getting a nice
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin. Joe Biden said it at COVID-19 plan remarks on September 9th in 2021.
Sleepy Joe.
He was addressing the unvaccinated Americans during the pandemic. Jeff, sorry, buddy, no points for Obama. But Joe Biden definitely said that. So let's see here if we can find another one. Was this a president or was this a villain? When the looting starts, the shooting starts.
President.
President.
Was that a president or a
Villain.
villain?
No, it could be a villain.
Villain.
When the looting starts, the shooting starts.
Villain.
The Joker.
That sounds like a Batman villain, right?
Yeah.
When the looting starts, the shooting starts.
I'll
It
go
was
with the
said
villain.
in May 29th of 2020. You said president. Which president do you got in mind?
That would have had to been when the looting started. That would actually Donald Trump.
That was Donald Trump.
Yeah.
When the looting starts, the shooting starts.
Sorry, guys.
He was commenting on the riots and unrest following the killing of George Floyd. And that was one of the things that he said as he was putting, I believe he sent the National Guard in at that time. And that's what essentially he followed with it. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. That's it. Well, it's something that the president said. So let's see here. Resistance is futile. Was that a villain or was that a president? You've
Villain.
heard it before.
Say it again, please.
Resistance is futile.
Villain.
I don't know.
It was that
I
uttered
need
by
to
a
abstain-
president?
I need to abstain
I'm going
from
with
this.
villain.
Yeah.
Because a lady at Coach told me when I couldn't decide whether I should just frivolously spend my money? And
Uh-huh.
she said, resistance is futile. When you go shopping, remember that.
The lady at Kohl's
Villain.
said that villain, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
villain.
Making sure that you
Coach,
get that.
Coach.
A coach,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Make sure you spend that credit card in there.
That's right.
Resistance is
It's a villain.
futile was said in Star Wars: The Next Generation by the Borg. The best of both worlds in 1990. The Borg collective issues its ultimatum to those they intend to assimilate into their collective.
Hey, the Dutchman's playing.
The
on
Dutchman.
YouTube. Yeah, he's
he
playing
says
on YouTube
Patrick
with this.
Stewart. Yeah, he was a Borg at the time. He had been converted into the Borg as well. So let's do. Let's see if I can grab one more without it looking too crazy. Here we go. Is this a president or is this a villain? If it takes a bloodbath, let's get it over with. No more appeasement.
It was a president.
Was that a president or a villain?
I'm going villain.
If it takes a bloodbath, let's get it over with. No more appeasement. See if I can put my
President.
acting in there.
I'm really
Two
losing
presidents
today.
in there. Two presidents and a villain. Well, it's a pretty solid mix. Ronald Reagan remarks to the California Council of Growers on April 7th of 1970. He was speaking during a period of anti-war student protests in California. Yeah, how about that?
I only got one wrong.
I'm tanking this round.
That is it. That's the game for today. I hope everybody learned a little bit about your presidents
Jeff got it right.
and some of the things he did. Good job, Jeff. He's winning over there. So before we head out, we've only got a couple of minutes or a couple of moments here. If you wouldn't tell me the next time that both of your meetings are open so we can get people to it.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I want to come.
What's
So it's going
meeting?
to be, unless we have a special meeting,
Okay.
which is probably where we're looking
Ching-ching.
at. Otherwise, we're looking at some, it's third Wednesday. Isn't it third Wednesday? Oh, my Lord. Because we have so many meetings.
And the special
We
meeting.
have so many meetings nowadays.
I
that,
lose track
yeah.
what month it is right now, to
That's
tell you the
okay.
truth.
Head
Yeah.
on over to
So-
dundeetownship.org. You're
Correct.
able to find a whole bunch of different information over there, including when special meetings are put together and maybe some agenda and minutes. You can also look over the financial documents too. Maybe do your homework before you show up for one of these meetings as well. Thank you both for being here.
Third Wednesday, I was
Third
right.
Wednesday. That's
Third
right.
Wednesday.
That's the one that we go to. Established in 1835, the Dundee Township is being supervised by the amazing Shafali Shah, and we've got Joseph Connell sitting on that health board as well. Thank you both for being here, and thank you both for being from two different
you.
parties and still civil with each other.
You're
Absolutely.
too kind.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Thank you for having
us.
That's what we need. We need more discussion like this. And
Thank you, Jeff.
Instead of taking pot shots at everybody, let's just bust each other's chops. That's way more fun.
Keyboard
And
warriors.
that's it. We'll see you next time. Apolitical Talk Show's over now, but WRMN continues.